Good day, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you are doing well wherever you are: Africa, Europe, America, Asia, Australia. Also, I hope you're doing well. Yesterday, I promised that I was going to analyze a chess game from the 2025 Swiss Grand Chess Tour, and yeah, here I am to deliver my promise. Okay, so let's get right into the game we'll be analyzing. So, a game between Alireza Firouzja and Bassem Amin. Now, we all know Alireza Firouzja is, if you've been following chess for the past, 5 years, you know Alireza Firouzja, one of the strongest grandmaster. He's number 8 in the world even. So you know how strong he is. And if you're following speeches also, I think aside from Magnus and Icaro, you know that Alireza is like the best speeches player. Now, Bassem Amin, no, even I didn't know him until today. And I went to, read stuff about him. Now, first, Bassem Amin is an Egyptian grandmaster, He's also a doctor. He's also a doctor. And he's the highest rated African player of all time. He attained, I think his peak was in 2-7. Yes, 2-7. Um, he won the African player. There's this tournament, Africa chess tournament that takes place every year, and he has won it 7 times. 7 good times. He won it 2009, 2013, 2015, 2017, 2018, 2025. And he's just really strong. He's a really strong grandmaster. And Hall Morton is the only grandmaster, is the only medical doctor, is the highest medical doctor grandmaster. So all the grandmasters that are medical doctors is the highest of all of them. Is the highest. He was the only one to cross the 2-7 mark rating. Now, as at this moment is 2,636. He has lost a lot of rating, and he's old. His man is probably like 37. He's 37 years old. Yes, so he's no longer a young boy anymore. He has lost rating, as time pass by. And of course, we have Perugia is 2,754, number 8 in the world. Also, Bassem Amin is number 94. He's even in the top 100 in the world. So you know how strong he is, right? So let's get right into the game. Now, Alireza is as white and Bassem Amin as black. Now, in this game, instead of me just saying Bassem Amin, I'm just going to call him Amin. That's just maybe I'll just choose that. So Amin. So Alireza Firouzja with the white pieces, and he opens with knight to f3. Now, Bassem Amin also brings out his knight. Amin brings out his knight. Push pawn. Both of them are just trying to develop their pieces. As you can see, they're trying to slowly develop pieces. Now, slowly. And I want you to no, I want to just say something about this game. This game is when you have something perfect. When you be playing, when you have all of us we've been in this situation. When you have a perfect game, when you play very well, right? But you just make a slight mistake, and at this level, you can't get away with it. So that's just the twist about this game. Someone is playing very perfectly, doing well, and then just one move and the whole game crumbles. So let's see how it unravels. Now the game continues. They develop their pieces, castles. It brings out his bishop. He attacks the center with the pawn. Pushes the pawn. Starts throwing pawns through the a flank, and Arija prevents the bishop from pinning the. Of course, you can't pin, but it's just better so you don't have pieces infiltrating into your territory. It brings out his knight, and also pins the knight to the queen. They're just playing normal chess on pins, and then starts attacking. It's clear already. Arija doesn't want to castle. Doesn't want to castle king side. He just wants to, okay, let's keep going. Moves the knight, and they're just shoveling pieces. They're just trying to just make something happen in the position. He sidesteps. He doesn't want to he wants to create space for his king. Now, Arija Firouzja attacks the knight at on the c5 square, and Abbas says, instead of just waiting for it to attack me, let's explode everything. Let's explode the position. And he pushes pawn, takes, and he doesn't want to take, obviously. But now, when he moved to the g5 square. Why he did that is now, if Bassem Amin takes the pawn, right? If he takes the pawn, he can retake back with the knight, and he has two pieces now defending the pawn, but instead, Amin just develops his queen, and he starts making this. Now you can actually take, but it will sort of just open up the position. So Alireza Firouzja decided to just run his king to the center of the board, and now you this gives Amin an opportunity to just develop his bishop. Now they slowly they start trading pieces. They start trading pieces. Now everything is fine up to this point. Is a draw position. It's drawish. So they continue, start doubling up. And Alireza also doubles up on the G flank. They trade pieces. Everybody trades pieces. Everybody is fine. There's nothing has happened. Now I mean, starts bringing his queen closer. When is this already the end game? Once you want to do, whenever you have an end game, is you bring your queen closer to the center of the board, closer to the pieces. Now, uh, Firouzja defends his pawn. You know, I mean, it also defends the pawn in case if Firouzja decides to take the the knight on c5, so you can when you have many options, you can decide, you can use your knight, but also you can decide to use your pawn to take. They start shuffling moves, start just making improvements. Each of them, he attacks the knight, takes, and the knight moves to the center. Now that move is a very very smart one. He moved the knight to the d3 square, where it controls a lot of squares. And now they're just making normal moves. It attacks the pawn, it defends, pushes pawn. Now you can't, obviously you can't take this pawn. If you take, the pawn, the knight on d3 will be hanging, so you can't take it. So he moves away the pawn first, and you see something. He moves away the pawn, takes, moves the king side steps, and attacks the knight. This pawn is hanging, so he just takes there. So everything is fine until here. Now you will notice something, this particular position. You notice something that Amini just pushes the pawn and say, Firouzja, take my pawn. But if you're not in this level, you will just think that this position is just free pawn. Why can't you take it? Now let's see what will happen if he takes it. If he takes it, what will happen is now you have this check. Sorry, now you bring your rook to the f3 square. Now you're blocking off now look at the queen. It does not have any square down back. The only place it can move is backwards, right? And let's say you're like me, we are not of this level. Let's say you grab another pawn. Now what you see is you have this check. Now you can't move forward. You have two options. Is that you move to the b square or the d square. Now let's see. Let's say you move to the b square. What will happen? You have this check, then you have to move again, then you have this check, then you have to move again, and then you blunder your knight. Now this position is still drawable, but it's not easy to play because white can still fight for something because of the g pawn, the pawn that is just going to keep rolling. Now, but it is not winning. Obviously, these are grandmasters. They will find a way to just win. Now, what will happen if you decide to move to the d square? What will happen now is you just have a check. I mean, we'll just check him, and now you see you cannot move. You cannot move to the c3, c2. Sorry, you cannot move to the c. You cannot move to the c2 and d2 square. So you have to abandon your bishop, and then you just a free piece. And this position is even worse because you're not getting anything. So now instead of that, instead of just taking the pawn, now Alireza move closer to the knight. Now he moves away. Now you can take the pawn because now when you have the check, you're able to retreat. And now he offers the trade pieces. And from that, this position is 100% drawish. If you look at the analysis, it's saying 0.00. There's no, it just says if you give two computers this position, is a draw from 1 year. But they start making moves. He attacks, defends, moves closer to the pawn. The offers trade, is declines trade. Moves closer to the bishop. Instead of moving away, he first attacks um he attacks the knight. Now you cannot just take, because if you take, you just have this, and this bishop, this sorry, this pawn will just roll and turn into a queen. So you have to move away. And sorry, now what did he play? He moves back, and now he defends his bishop. At this position, up to now is still equal. And then Amin makes a blunder, a slight blunder. He moves away from this square, and this gives Firouzja the opportunity to attack the c7 pawn. Now he moves backwards. He moves to the d2 square. Trying to targeting the a5 square. You can see the move. He moves to the d2 square, targeting the a5 square. Now, what does Amin does? He continues, just maybe he thought at this point that it's still drawish. I know, and attacks the pawn, and the pawn is gone. You can't save it. But the grandmasters, you can't just resign on the spot. Now, uh, Amin gives a check. He has to move away from the pawn because you don't have any other square. Then Amin captures the pawn. Now Felicia captures the pawn, and the knight is hanging. You cannot move. You have to just move away. And he moves to the d7 square, and Felicia also captures another pawn. Now, the reason now is the first person to queen. Whoever that queens first is the winner. Now, Amin has a pawn on the e file, while Felicia has two pass pawn on the b and d file. So let's see who gets to queen first. So Felicia is just improving his position. Amin moves away his knight. He defends his bishop. He gives a check, moves closer. He moves away. Um, um, Amin offers a trade. This is a trade. Now let's see how this is a trade. You think the knight is angry, but it's not really angry, because Amin takes and he moves closer to the both knights. And one thing you cannot in this position. One thing you cannot. This is chess. You just have to calculate everything. You cannot take this knight and say, oh, because what would Amin would what Felicia would do now is we take the knight, and from this position white will just queen. It's just one square for queening, and the knight does not have any square to go to defend the c8 square. So that point that move is losing. So will have to happen now? What did he do? Amin moves away the knight, so he give up the knight on d5. Now the game continues. Amin starts pushing his pawn. Felicia, and this is the thing about chess. You cannot just keep attacking. You also have to think about defense. Now Felicia brings the bishop to the a5 square, eyeing the e1 square. That's just the plan. He's just trying to control everything. He keeps pushing the pawn. He also pushes his own pawn. Now when he gets to this place, he pushes the pawn. You cannot Black Knight cannot do anything. He's just supposed to just stay there and wait for when Felicia, because Felicia is literally the one controlling this game. He decides what will happen in this game. Now he defends the b8 square. Felicia also trying to just maneuver his bishop. He comes back. You can see that he's just making repetitive moves. Now he stays on the e1 square so it to stop Amin from promoting. He goes back. He's just repeating moves. And then Felicia moves his king to the c6 square. Now Amin so he defends his knight, and also he defends his knight. Now Felicia moves his queen closer to the queening spot. If he can just queen and trade off that knight, he has won. Now Amin is attacking the pawn. And one thing you should not do. You should now this position is just winning for is winning for you can win it in different ways. You can win it in multiple ways. You can turn it to a queen and wait for Amin to give you a check, and then you trade pieces. This is winning. Okay, so let's go back to the formal position. But what did Felicia do? He takes the knight, and then Amin turns into a queen. While also Felicia turns into a queen. And at this position, Amin decided to resign because there's no longer anything for you to do again. There's no check. You have only one check, but if you give the check, Felicia will block with his queen, and You don't have any other check. You don't have any other check. You don't like it, but that's the truth. You don't have any other check. Now it's either you trade pieces, and this is 101% for it for Felicia, or you decide no, you're not going to trade and just stay on the on the eight on the eighth file, and then you get discover check and you have to move, and then you get an extra coin, and this is just ridiculous. It's these are grandmasters. You just prefer to resign than humiliating themselves. So at this position, Amin decided to just resign, and it was a win with white for Alireza Firouzja. So tomorrow you'll be analyzing another game. I would just try to check up what game I enjoyed the most and what game is more intriguing, and I will bring it here for you to for us to analyze. And please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We just want to grow this channel. You just want to grow this channel to influence the chess community. You want to post content. I also post shorts, so you can also view some of my shorts and some of my past videos. I'm just here to see what I can give to the chess community as a lover of chess. So really, please do like, comment, subscribe. You do everything. You can even post this video link to some of your friends around that are interested in chess. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I see you tomorrow. Let's go.